Hi, this is Jenny from Bending Road. I am so glad you could join me today as we make this journey of life together. No matter where you go in life, two things are for certain. You will eventually come to a bend in the road, and God will always see you through. Thanks for joining me today.
Welcome back to my channel. I am so glad you're here to join me on the Bending Road today. I am sure that you have had things in life that just absolutely seem impossible. There is simply no way that this is going to happen. There are too many barriers: money, time, ability, availability, possibility. All of these things make it simply unattainable. We see so many examples of this in the Bible, right? When Moses was standing at the Red Sea, when Elizabeth was unable to conceive, when the Virgin Mary was to become pregnant by the Holy Spirit, when Jesus was dead in the tomb. To us, these things seem impossible. Even the disciples, right? This group of 12 ordinary men, that was the hope of spreading the gospel to the world? Really? Well, I know this well because most of my life, although I have always said, no way, I will never be ordained, something in me knew that it was God. And God wanted me to do this. It was God's plan for me. In 2010, I began the process, and in 2011, I became the certified lay minister. That was a big step for me. I was still a lay person, but I was able to serve a church for the district superintendent. Somewhere in 2015, I finally came to the realization that I needed to take another big step and become a licensed local pastor. But that still didn't feel right. It never felt right. I needed to go all the way. I needed to be fully committed. The problem was then, when I finally decided this is what I was supposed to do, that I knew that I needed a Master's of Divinity in order to be ordained. But my bachelor's degree was from a non-accredited school, and I contacted every possible seminary that I could possibly attend while still working, and they all told me the same thing. I would have to redo my bachelor's work. Well, you know what? I was simply too old to start over, and there was no way that I could afford to pay for the additional education. I was taking what they call course of study ascribed by the Methodist Church to keep my license, and the director of the program asked me one day, she said, "Why aren't you working on your MDiv, your Master's of Divinity?" I explained all that, and she suggested that I speak to one of the professors who was at the school that weekend. He also taught at a seminary. Well, long story short, this past Saturday, I graduated from Colgate Rochester Crozier Divinity School with a Master's of Divinity. And because of the generosity of a couple of individuals and several scholarships that had been established years before, I finished school debt-free. I am so grateful to those who helped pay my way. Even the little gifts, I had people who would gift me, a $20 bill to buy a meal as I was traveling back and forth from Binghamton to Rochester. Or give me a gas card and say, "Here, I hope this fills your tank for one of those trips." I am so grateful to all of you who helped me achieve this. I am grateful to those who encouraged me, those who advocated for me, those who challenged me and supported me and loved me as I traveled this part of my life journey. I am also grateful to God for putting me in the right place at the right time, for putting the right people in the right place at the right time, so that God's will would be done in my life in this time. I wish Reverend Eleanor Hare was here today with me. When I was 10 years old, she told me that I was going to be a preacher someday. And I am so thankful because that encouragement has stayed with me all of these years. I want to thank the Reverend Dr. John Tyson, who is retiring this year. I'm glad you waited until I made it through. Thank you. Thank you. I want to thank Reverend Gail Lewis, who encouraged me to go talk to Dr. Tyson and to move from course of study to a Master's of Divinity. I thought it was all impossible. But the truth is, with God, nothing is impossible. And thank you for those who saw that and encouraged me. Thank you also to my husband, David. Without you and your encouragement and your faithfulness, I could not have managed through this. I'm not sure how you survived through it, but we survived. I'm not ordained yet. I have one more big step to go, but I am at peace. If God can get me through the required education, which really was a step I didn't think was ever going to happen, if God can do that, nothing is impossible for God. Nothing, absolutely nothing is impossible for God. Have a great day, and whatever it is that you are facing today that looks impossible, I want to encourage you to find somebody to talk to and say, hey, what do you think? How could I pull this off with God's help? We'll see you next week on The Bending Road.
If you're watching on YouTube and if you have been encouraged by this message, I would love it if you would hit that thumbs up button. You can also click the subscribe button so that you will know when I upload my next video. In this way, we work together to encourage each other as we travel life together and navigate the bends in our road. If you have not done so already, connect with me on my website or on Facebook and let me know how I can pray for you as you navigate the bend in your road. I hope you have been encouraged today, and I pray that when you see the bend in your road, you will not be afraid, but will take the hand of God and keep walking. You are not alone. See you next time.